Hey everyone, how is it going? I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I'm really excited right now because we are less than 1 week away from the return of Ultimate Beastmaster. Yeah! Isn't that exciting? Oh man, I've been waiting for so long because I finished watching season 1 back in March and just been waiting and waiting and waiting and asking when season 2 is coming and constantly being told, oh, it's coming soon. Oh, it's coming soon. Well, now it's here. It's just about here. On November, I believe, we got a new trailer for Ultimate Beastmaster Season 2 coming December 15th to Netflix. And I'm excited. For those of you who don't know, Ultimate Beastmaster is a television series on Netflix that is 10 episodes long. Every episode, there are 12 competitors from 6 different countries competing in a 4-level obstacle course. For every level, they take on this multi-part stage, all these cool-looking obstacles, and every time they complete an obstacle, they score points. In addition, certain obstacles have these things called point thrusters, where if you can touch them and activate them, you will score bonus points. And at the end of every round, whoever scores the most amount of points above a certain ranking threshold moves on to the next level. In the end, only 2 people make it to the final level, and whoever wins the final level moves on to the grand finale. They win the title of Beastmaster, and they get to compete with the other 8 champions to win the title of Ultimate Beastmaster. And what's unique about this show is that points carry over for the first 3 levels. So you can't just do enough to move on to the next round and, kind of give up. No, you got to build up those points, because you don't know how you're going to do in level 2. You might hurt yourself point-wise if you do that. So that's why I like that. I like that about the show. Ultimate Beastmaster is a massive show in terms of square footage. It uses the old set that Wipeout used to use and made it bigger. And it has basically, the set is this giant monster, literal monster made of steel. The competitors enter the mouth of the beast, and they have to travel through the body of the beast until they come out the backside, but that's a whole other story. In the end, only one person can win, and it's a very exciting show. We had some few reservations about season 1, few complaints. This season was filmed before season 1 aired, but it already looks like they're taking some issues and they're modifying a few things. Because I watched the trailer a few times, just a few, and I have deep dived the trailer. I've looked at some stuff, and there's a few things that are definitely new. So the biggest one is the selection of countries. There's 6 countries. 5 of them are new. You got United States, because this is an American-produced show, but you got 5 new countries joining the United States this time around. You got Spain, you got France, you got Italy, you got China, and you got India. So those are your 6 teams that are going to be competing against each other. One thing that I like that they did for Season 2 is that every country now has their own unique uniform. Basically, in Season 1, everyone wore black, and they had a patch on their uniform to signify what country they're from. This time, it is much more obvious. They're much more brightly colored. They're more distinct as a result. I like that. That is one thing I definitely like. They all look different from each other. Once again, every country is going to have their own set of hosts, so there's going to be 12 hosts on the show. The U.S. hosts actually changed this time around. For Season 2, it's going to be former NFL competitor Tiki Barber and comedian Chris Stefano. They're going to be hosts for America. So one thing that's actually interesting is that apparently they brought back 3 of the countries from Season 1, their hosts, for the show. they brought back Brazil, South Korea, and Mexico. And I'm kind of curious exactly how they're going to be handling this, because, like, as far as I'm aware, they weren't at the actual set filming it. Because if you look at that trailer, they are never shown. And so I wonder if it's just a case where they brought them back to do hosting for their countries, because maybe Beastmaster did particularly well in those countries, or I don't know. I kind of hope they don't try doing like a sort of like a weird green screen thing where like they try to make it look like those hosts were also there. I hope that's not the case. But yeah, that's definitely one thing that I noticed this time around. Another thing from the trailer itself is that I really like the song that they used, and I wanted to know who did it. After doing a little bit of research, I found that the singer of the song in the Ultimate Beastmaster trailer is Zane Wolf. And the reason I know that is because I asked him personally on Twitter. It is from a song. The song is from a upcoming album of his. It is currently, you cannot buy it. I don't know what the song title is because I didn't ask him. But that's all I know right now. I think it's a fun little song, and I think it is thematically appropriate for what they're going for with the trailer. The other big thing that I noticed in the trailer is that we're getting new obstacles. We're getting a bunch of new obstacles. We're getting a bunch of the same ones too. I feel like level 2 changed the least. I definitely noticed some new stuff with level 3. And I definitely noticed some new stuff with level 1. Like, for example, early on level 1, we got a new obstacle that involves jumping on top of gears. And I think this is also level 1. There's this obstacle that's essentially like the flywheels in A&W, but they're like these like nuts. Like you gotta swing and jump from. Other than that, I think one of the other biggest changes is that kind of looking at the trailer and being a bit eagle-eyed, I noticed that level 1 actually splits into 2 paths at some point. And that is because when you look at the trailer, there is an obstacle that is the end of a stage, and behind it is the mag wall and that weird rock climbing wall that they end up not using as an obstacle that is in between level 1 and level 2. And so they also show the mag wall being the end of level 1 as well, so it looks like level 1 at some point splits. Whether it's a case of players getting to choose or players being told which path to take based on the episode remains to be seen. But it looks like there's at least 2 different ways to end level 1. One is the mag wall, which now appears to have a point thruster permanently on that obstacle. And the other is this new obstacle that looks like a modified version of the bungee beds. It's different. The platform is now an ellipse, but it's there. And that also has a point thruster. One thing that's worth mentioning is that point thrusters are now, they're no longer switches, they are triangular buttons that you press, and they'll light up when you hit them. So that's one of the things I noticed. So by far what I think the biggest change of Ultimate Beastmaster Season 2 is going to be is level 4, which is the last level of the episode. I think that was like the weakest part of Ultimate Beastmaster Season 1 was it was very unchanging episode to episode, and I feel like it favored rock climbers too much, especially with that gridlock obstacle. However, looking at the footage for the trailer, it really looks like the final stage, the level 4, has been heavily changed and improved, for that matter. Looking at things, it looks like level 4 is now going to feature obstacles that are climbing up, but also things that involve climbing across and then maybe climbing up again. More importantly, it looks like, kind of looking at the trailer, it looks like things are going to change episode to episode, because looking at level 4 kind of like I'm trying to like piece together the obstacles and how they lay out on the course, and they don't fit in my mind, at least. The only way they would fit is if it turns out that they're different versions of level 4. So I think that is what is going to be the biggest change between seasons 1 and 2, is that they're going to improve level 4, and I'm all for that because level 4 needed the biggest change. So yeah, I don't mind because, like I said, it looks like level 2 is not going to change that much, which I'm fine with. Level 1 looks like it's going to be half change, and 3's got some differences. 3's definitely got some differences. But yeah, it looks like there's not going to be a lot changed. One thing I noticed that I'm aware of is that Kyle Soderman from Team Ninja Warrior is going to be competing. You might remember him from National Ninja League as well. He did really well in the Season 2 finale this past March is when it happened. So yeah, he competed in Season 2, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he did in that. I got a feeling he did well. We'll see if he did well enough to win this episode, but I'm looking forward to that. So with that said, however, I am going to give you some predictions. So my first prediction is that we won't be seeing all 6 countries represented in the final competition for episode 10. And the reason is that there's 6 countries total, and there's only 9 spots. And so the odds of at least one country being represented, every country being represented with at least one person, is low. I did the math. It was a bit tougher than I thought it would be to figure this out. But basically, if you were to assume pure random chance, I know it's not pure random chance, but you can't really, predict based on skill when you don't really know who most of the competitors are. But if you go by pure random chance, the odds of all 6 countries having at least one person in the grand finale is about, it's low. There's an 81% chance that won't happen. That at least one country will be left out. So the odds are in favor of at least one country being left out. So that's what I'm trying to cross. And so that's why I'm predicting that as much as it would be nice to have for each country to have represented in the grand finale, I don't think it's going to happen. Prediction number 2 is that I think that for the first time in Ultimate Beastmaster history, we will see a woman reach level 4 of an episode. Now, I don't know if she's going to win her episode, but she's going to make it to the final level of her episode. That is one thing that has not happened in Season 1, and I have a feeling that this time around it's going to happen. I'm sure they scoured for some very talented women, and we got close. We actually got pretty close last season, and I think it's going to happen. Call it a gut feeling, but I feel like we're going to see the best performance of a woman to date. And for my final prediction, I think that the country that is ultimately going to win the entire show is going to be someone from France. That is who I picked back in the final episode of the Final Stage podcast, and that's who I'm going to stick with. Now, the reason I gave is that, parkour kind of originated from France. And I know that, Beastmaster isn't strictly a parkour show, but I just got a feeling France is going to win. That's my feeling, okay? Kind of just thinking about it. I think they can do it. I don't think they'll have the most amount of representatives in the grand finale, but I think they're going to win. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going with France. All in all, I am very excited for Ultimate Beastmaster Season 2. I've been waiting very long for this to happen. And I think the biggest reason I'm excited is that Ultimate Beastmaster represents something different in the whole obstacle course sphere. It does a lot of things that are, similar to ANW. You have the dramatic pieces, but it does it in a way that makes things more engaging and entertaining. And honestly, like, it's a fun show to watch. It's a legitimately good show to watch. And I hope Season 2 is even better than Season 1. For those of you who haven't seen Ultimate Beastmaster, Season 1 is available on Netflix right now. Season 2 will be available on December 15th. And I highly suggest you watch it. It is a great show. Basically, I guess, like, the elevator pitch is simply, imagine A&W on a Hollywood budget. And better rules. I don't know if that better rules part is fully true. But the one thing I will say is that of all the obstacle course shows I've watched this year, and I've watched quite a few obstacle course shows this year, Beastmaster would be my pick for my favorite show that I've seen this year, at least for obstacle course shows. So let that be an endorsement in itself, and check out Beastmaster on Netflix. So that's everything I gotta say. All I gotta say is I'm super excited. So here's hoping Season 2 of Ultimate Beastmaster will be good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. But until then, I'll see you later.